I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller.
And my name is Niall Spain. And we're your fuck buddies.
We're a sex and dating advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations, turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we're sexual alchemists, transforming sexy, sticky situations. We find questions online or from our wonderful listeners. We answer them right here, right now for you. And we also predict movie trends.
Yeah, how'd we do that?
Tron, it's bombing. Who knew?
Well, I don't know if we can take credit for that. There's 40 years of precedent of Tron movies bombing.
Dane, do you not remember what our podcast therapist said to us?
Always take credit for Jared Leto's crumbling career.
No, they never undercut yourself. We could have taken credit, and you're here downplaying our achievements, and they said that you should stop doing that.
My personal therapist has told me to set higher goals and not to settle for the bottom tier.
Your personal therapist is a hack.
It's true. It is my cat.
It is your cat, yeah.
It is my cat when I'm half asleep and I pretend that he's talking to me.
Yeah, when Dane's had his sleepy chicken.
Yeah. So my cat has started doing this very cool thing while we're talking about my cat. And
okay. Any excuse, huh?
Any excuse. So he likes to sleep on... It's hard to describe it, but like he essentially sleeps on a pillow above my girlfriend's head in the bed. So it's like us sleeping normally, but then we've got like a little like additional pillow underneath my partner's pillow that he sleeps on. It's very cute. But in the morning,
he describes as a pillow throne.
I honestly do believe that's what he thinks.
Yeah.
But in the morning, he likes to gorge himself on food, do a big eat. And then he comes in and lies his face as close to my nose as possible. So the amount of times that I wake up with just
cat food
overpowering, like medicated cat food too. So it's even more special. And I'm just like,
look what you've done to me, Father.
The best is like, there's always a part in the dream that I'm currently having in which like there's a weird smell. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's just Oliver's mouth. Mm-hmm.
Just his stinky little mouth.
Just a stinky little cat mouth.
It's incredibly adorable. Also, sounds like a great morning. Sleep on a throne, wake up, have a good feed, and then bully someone. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then assault someone with your stinky mouth.
Yeah. But this week we're going to talk about, is this why pirates went extinct?
My boobs are too big to have good sex.
Husband just introduced me to his child.
What a do after 4 or 5 dates.
Is it true that pirates have gone extinct because they were men and couldn't have babies?
Is that the whole question?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, this is, you know what? This is what I love about the like idea that gay people shouldn't be allowed to adopt because if they do, they'll make more gay babies.
Yeah.
As if the most common way to have a gay child is from a, heteronormative couple, because that's the way babies are made. Typically. And it's I like the idea that thinking that like, oh, pirates can only be born from pirates and all pirates are men. So
yeah, as if pirate is like a species that like died out. 1, wrong. 2, that they couldn't just go on shore and have kids. 3, that there weren't female pirates ever. And 4, that pirates are extinct. They're not.
Also, like where did the original pirates come from?
Exactly. Well, that's a chicken egg situation, Which came first, a human or a pirate?
It's pirate, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, God made us in his image, and his image is yar.
His image is long beard, syphilis, and scurvy.
I could see it.
Yeah.
2 eye patches, which is why he doesn't see all the bullshit that's going on.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Rob your boat.
Steal from the British.
Hey.
We're not against that.
Not against that.
The British have done plenty of stealing, and now it's our turn. But yeah, there are still pirates out there.
Yeah. This question just couldn't be more wrong in every single way.
I don't really know if it's our area of expertise.
It's sex, Dane.
I guess.
It's babies.
Babies. I would love to. I want to posit this to like a anthropologist or a historian or someone who like really like knows a lot about pirates and just ask them this question and watch them
like
Just
die on
unravel.
the inside. Yeah.
just absolutely crumble mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
No,
I think we solved
I
it.
gotta know. Where was this posted? What?
Reddit.
What's?
It's
Well, yes.
it is posted in no stupid or stupid questions. So at least they're self-aware.
Okay.
But
Yes.
the mods deleted it. Which is so funny because it's like
Your question is so stupid.
4 stupid questions, but you've done
Yeah.
such a bad job. Yeah.
This question was too stupid for the stupid question.
Yeah. Incredible.
Okay. Do you have a real question?
What do you mean?
Okay, then I'll do mine.
What do you wait? What the fuck do you mean?
This is from Freya Phelan. I never get to do my favorite position because my boobs are too big. I love doggy and my husband will humor me for a few minutes, but flips me over first chance he gets. I have large tits, and he said that the reason he is doing this is because he likes the feeling of laying on me. But the only other guy I've been with also would never do doggy. Is this the price of having a large rack? Like Passionate Missionary is romantic, but sometimes a girl just wants to get fucked. Like I said, he will do it for me. Any way I can get him to see the benefits of doggy.
This makes me really sad because what you're telling me is I have a thing I like, he has a thing he likes, and we do the thing he likes all the time. Like, if you take out everything else, you're just like, hey, his needs matter more than mine. That sucks.
It's, and also, like, if we're going to boil it down to its crassest tax, it's funny that this dude isn't even like, I want to see those giant boobs bouncing or playing with them. I just want to lie on them. I just want to just
genuinely that part took me by surprise. And I want to, like,
it's like typically.
Are you always doing like chest to chest missionary? Because like that sounds boring.
Yeah,
and
also like and no, look, I'm trying to be not too crass here, but it seems like a waste of big boobs as well, right? Like if you're covering big boobs,
you're not
with
seeing them,
and you can't see them or really
them.
Yeah, or really touch them. You're just kind of like laying on them. You're missing the whole world of the joys of big boobs. What you doing?
I thought it was going to be I want to see them, and I was going to be doggy mirror boobs 10 out of 10. But he just wants this. And the thing is, this is great. It makes it an easier question because this isn't anything other than his needs are more important than yours. And it might not be his fault because I don't know if you've really laid down, hey, I really like doggy. I want to do doggy. You know, have you just been like, oh, let's do doggy? And then he does it for a bit and then flips you over. And there's no discussion because he may not know. And this is the most charitable answer because if he doesn't know, you have to talk, you have to ask, you have to just say, hey, this is the thing I really want. Let's introduce it occasionally, not instead of, not all the time, just occasionally, because this is a thing I want. We'll still do the things you want, but this is a thing I really, really want. If you have had that conversation and he's like, no, I got to lay on him, dump this boy.
Yeah. There's also like are you, and I'm trying not to victim blame here in the sense of like, but it's like, is there a difference in how much you enjoy it? Like, are you still like coming like crazy while he's fucking missionary? Because there may be a misunderstanding of levels of enjoyment, right? Like if you're still like going fucking crazy and moaning and coming and enjoying it just as much, he might not understand just how good doggy feels in comparison to other positions. So it might be worth maybe giving a little extra during doggy just to sort of differentiate, just so he can see and hear and like experience the difference between the two. Not that I really ever encourage people to fake things or manipulate people, but I think in situations like this, I think there is a benefit to seeing a tangible and like distinct difference of when someone's like, oh, I really like this. And it's like, well, yeah, but you really like this too. So like, I'm doing the things you really like. Right. And I think that it's easy to get out of a mindset of like different things, like different positions serve different needs. And it's not just dick in, but dick in also this position. So
dick in regardless, who cares? In which case, then let's change it to doggy. But I think it boils down to communication. If you haven't explicitly let this person know that this is a thing you want to do, I don't think we can really fault them for not having just magically done it, right? So lay it down. Be cool. Be like, hey, this feels amazing. I really want to do that. Again, always like lead with the positives, the excitement, the compliments. if they refuse to do a thing that you want / need / have requested, that's a huge issue. So that's a whole different scenario. But I think you really got to make sure, have I fully laid out that this is a thing I want, need, blah, blah, blah. And like, again, in no uncertain terms, not like let's do doggy. And then you've done doggy. He's just then switched and you never said like, hey, I want this more. Make sure you lay it out.
Yeah. And if you really want to sell doggy, when he's fucking, just be like, damn, your dick feels huge in this position. You're good. You're golden. He'll never want to do another position again.
Yeah. Well, it could also open the door to, wait, so it doesn't previously?
Yeah. And be like,
Damn.
it's in missionary, specifically when you're lying on top of me, I don't feel anything.
Where is it? What is it?
What is it?
All right.
What is penis?
Did the Roman phalanx go extinct because they were all men? No.
I mean, they were definitely fucking.
Yeah, exactly. But they couldn't have kids. This by Sakura Slut, my husband, 38-year-old male, just introduced me, 30 female, to his 18-year-old child after 3 months of marriage. I don't know how to process it right now. My husband, Charles, 38, introduced me, 30, to his 18-year-old son, Philip, after 3 months of our marriage. We've been married for 3 months, but before we started dating, we were coworkers, worked the same shift, and were pretty close friends. Along the line, feelings developed, and we eventually got married. Yesterday, out of nowhere, he told me there's something he's been hiding from me. He introduced me to a young boy of 18-year-olds, Philip, who he had when he was 20. I was completely shocked. He said the reason he never told me before is because back when we were just friends, I once mentioned I couldn't date or marry a man who already has a child. He claimed he truly loves me and didn't want to lose me, but at the same time didn't want me to hear from someone else later on. I don't know how to feel. I feel betrayed. This is something I should have known before getting married, but at the same time, he genuinely loves me. What is your advice?
Do you think it's suspicious that it's Charles and Philip, names of the royal family?
Nah, it's just mid-white guy names.
Yeah, you know what? I would break up with this man simply because he named his child in 2004 Philip.
Yeah.
Right? You named a kid in the 2000s Philip.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Cersei was right there.
Yeah. Why didn't you name him Daenerys? Or sorry, Khaleesi.
Yeah.
You could have named him Tyrion. Okay. There's a lot here because you said, oh, before we got married, we were coworkers and feelings developed. How long did you date? Because you seem to skip over how long you dated. Did you? It does sound like you kind of just like you worked together and then you were like, oh, we actually kind of vibe. Want to get married? Like there doesn't really seem to be a dating period because like the dating period is kind of when you get to learn to know people. That's when you learn of the secret children and the, second family and all that kind of stuff. 2, is he completely devoid and like absent from this child's life?
That's kind of what I was thinking, where it's like, if you've somehow gotten this far without knowing, it's like, he's a bad dad.
Yeah. Does he not talk to this kid? Does he not spend time with this kid? Like, where are you when he's out having father time? Is he living solely with the mom? Like, do you guys not live together? Like, I don't understand because if this guy is a decent father, there's no way he could have kept it. Either he's an incredible liar and has made up something as to like, oh, every Saturday and Sunday, every other week, I have hockey practice.
D&D, guys, for 2 full days.
Or you're oblivious. Like, I don't understand how someone can keep a kid. And like, in my opinion, those are the 2 options, right? Like, he's either a great liar,
terrible dad,
or terrible dad, right?
Or you're really oblivious.
Or you're gullible. Yeah, you're oblivious, right? Like those are really the 3 paths. I'm sure
I guess the 4th one is that you did rush things. You dated for a couple weeks or months, and then you were like, let's get married, which again, bad for many reasons, including this one.
Yeah. And there's going to be little offshoots, little side streets, little alleys on those 4 paths. But I think at the end of the day, we can probably put however this is shaken out down one of these routes, and all of them are like doomed to a bad relationship, right? Like all of it is because like, do you not want children, or do you just want someone who doesn't have previous children so you can have your own pure family? Is that the nature? Like, or do you just not want children? Like, do you just not want the responsibility of children at all? Because already that's out the window because he has a kid.
And the thing is, like, does it matter? Like, like we don't need to really go into specifics. You had a non-negotiable, and he was like, "Cool, I'm gonna hoodwink this person and lie to them until it's too late, and then I'm just gonna be like, lol." Like,
Kidding.
he loves me, does he? He made a conscious decision to betray you, and like an active, conscious effort to lie to you multiple times.
Yeah,
and
this
then
is not an
only
easy thing to hide.
Yeah, and then he was like, "I didn't want anyone else to tell you." It's like, no, you waited till it was too late. And now you get to like take it off your conscience. He's a scumbag. He lied to you. And he literally crossed a non-negotiable line that you expressed. And now that's pretty unforgivable.
That's it, right? It's if you're willing to, like, if you clarify this boundary early in your relationship, or he was aware of it at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Like, regardless of whether you told him when you were intentionally dating or it just came up in casual conversation, because I'm not really sure about your courting and dating history. But he knew about it. That's the reason why he lied about it.
Yeah, it's why he actively chose to be like, well, betrayal time.
So he's planned this betrayal and lie for a considerable amount of time and has put in an extreme amount of work, presumably, in maintaining that lie. So it's not like there's one thing to be like, you make a mistake in the heat of a moment and you cross a boundary, things like cheating, or, you get drunk at a work party and you kiss one of your coworkers. That's something where it's like, yes, that is a betrayal of trust. And if you lie about it, that's terrible. But it is something that kind of like happened, right? And you're panicking or whatever. It was a spur of the moment, heat of the moment thing. This is premeditated.
Yeah,
this required a ton of plan
versus like premeditation and or serial killing,
Yeah. So he made it part of your guys' relationship. It is ingrained in the foundation of your relationship that he is willing to go to extreme lengths to lie to you and to disregard the most important things about you.
To ignore boundaries that you've set, lie, manipulate, and like, again, wait until you've committed to him in a way that like now is a nightmare to untangle legally, emotionally, like socially. Financially. Extreme manipulation, abuse, everything. Although, if you just got married 3 months, I think you could get it annulled.
Yeah.
Which maybe, I'm sorry, not maybe. Yeah, that's the route forward. Fuck this dude. Fuck Philip.
Yeah. It's so easy to get blinded by the fact that someone has been nice to you in other aspects. And we talk about this all the time, right? When people are like, the bedroom is great, but he treats me like shit, and vice versa. People being like, we love each other, but our sex is terrible and he abuses me in bed.
Yeah.
They're not different spheres, right?
No.
You can't purposely lie to someone and betray them and know that you're doing that and love someone.
No.
I fundamentally believe that. And I know a lot of people would probably argue against that and be like, well, love is an amorphous concept and can be, but like, I really don't think that if you truly care about someone, that you can purposely hurt them over a prolonged period of time.
Yeah. I mean, you actively work against them in a very evil way. Like, I can't imagine having like an extended, thought out, planned, active manipulation, deceit,
conspiracy
over months, if not years, against someone I hate, let alone someone I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
someone I want to spend my life with.
Yeah. The amount of time and effort, if I had to put that into an enemy, like I would hope one of my friends took me aside and is like, yo, this is bad. This is so bad. Like, nobody really deserves this.
What if that person killed all your friends so you don't have any friends?
That's fine. Like,
to pull you
there
aside.
Are extremes. I think if someone has murdered all your friends or your family or done something, then I'm totally down for the months-long conspiracy.
for the conspiracy of the... Yes, okay.
Yeah. No, and I do genuinely mean that. But I think
that's a warning to the person who's been threatening me.
For real. You come for Dane,
you get the horns.
You come for Dane, you get the Spain.
Damn. I like doing this every now and then now.
Just like, let's go. Well, if we do this, it almost feels like we're like anonymous or like hackers. It's like, communicate. Make sure you communicate well with your partner.
Terrible for the actual podcast, but incredibly.
Sorry, I turned my lights off, so I'm a dark boy.
We're just in shadow boys. We're just shadow boys right now.
But the visual people are loving it.
Yeah, the people who see this on TikTok will fucking lose their
They're gonna
minds.
bust. Not even just their gut. They're gonna bust.
Yeah. So, yeah, you have a relationship built on the foundation of a massive lie. Also,
Hey,
like,
Dane.
do you not feel bad for this child?
Yeah, his name's
This
Philip.
like secret closet child that he is like kept hidden because of. He's like, look, little Philip.
Yeah. I know I haven't seen you in 2 years, but I had to hoodwink this woman.
Yeah, I kind of love you, Philip, but I do love this woman more. So you're going to have to pretend like you don't exist for a little while. So, but just until I marry her.
He's like,
and
look,
then,
I'm mistreating you, but I love you, which seems to be his line.
Yeah, it's like, but then I will reveal you to a woman who's going to be immediately angry at you. And not just you, but the concept of your existence as well, Philip. Your very existence will infuriate this woman and taint my happiness and her happiness for years to come.
Yeah, and like I'll ignore you for a couple of years, but then I'll also need to step away from you while we're navigating that for a couple of years. But then in your late 20s, we could get a beer, bro.
And every holiday is going to be unbearably awkward. Yeah. Don't worry, Philip. When you bring your wife, who hopefully you've been lying to for years.
Mm-hmm. And if not, I got that handle. Don't worry. I got something in the works for her.
If you want me to pretend to be you for 2 years to find you a wife and then be like, haha, surprise, it's Philip you're married to. That's fine. I'll do that for you, son.
I got you.
Because I love you.
I'll live my life a quarter lie at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also unbearable.
Like, what else?
That's it, right? At the end of the day, if he's willing to lie about this crazy thing, the fact that he has a child and has had a child for almost 20 fucking years,
the
fact that he has this kid and has hidden it from you, knowing that you don't want a kid, what do you think you don't think he's gonna lie about, like, I don't know, being unfaithful? Or
this guy is doing
anything.
it for the love of the game at this. Like, at the very, like, no one's this level and isn't playing casual mode too. He's not just ranked. He gotta hone these skills. Like, he's lying to you on the fucking daily. Also, it's so much worse that you were coworkers and friends prior to this, because also no one in the office found out about this kid or his friends. Like, bad dad.
Yeah, does this guy not have a photo of his kid on his desk?
Fuck no.
Right? Like, there's absolutely the fact that there's no trace of this kid in this guy's life that you stumbled across. Surely you went to his home. Does he have no fucking pictures of him and his child? And if he did he remove them to further perpetuate this lie? Like, that's crazy. How do you not realize that is crazy? I don't care what you think this man feels for you. He has chosen lying as his love of his life. That is his true soulmate.
Yeah. He's definitely got like aura frames all over his house, and he just like presses like son mode, girlfriend mode, mistress mode.
See, Aura, we can bring a different level of advertising and marketing to your campaign.
A lot of people, they aim for like the families. We're aiming for the narcissists, the cheaters.
Yeah.
You know, fuck grandma. She's got two.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't have one? Charles
and his mystery son, Philip.
Yeah. And Charles probably has 2 apartments, so he will need 2 aura frames minimum.
For sure. Oh man, this guy definitely has different apartments.
And
like, you just imagine having a conversation with this man and being like, "Hey, did you take out the garbage?" And he's like, "Yep." And you're like, "I don't know if you did, actually."
Yeah. Yes. But like, his real thing would be like, he wanted to take out the garbage, or he didn't want to, but he knew you wanted him to, so he dumped it like in a closet in your house. So the bin is empty. But he did take it out, and then in a couple of weeks you'll be like, why does it smell like a fucking dumpster? And he'll sheepishly pull back the closet and there's like 8 weeks worth of trash, and then you're like, well, I knew you wanted me to take it out, but I love you.
But I just love you too much to take out the garbage. He's just got a boarded up wall that he's like removing and placing in. It's like, this house does have a basement. I just snuck in before our first viewing, boarded it up so that I could have a secret basement to throw the garbage in that I don't want to take.
Trash of my son in there.
You never know what's going to happen when I open this wall. Is it going to be Philip? Is it going to be trash? Just kidding. They're the same thing because I hate my child.
I hate my child and you. I hate this marriage.
I hate trash, lying. And taking out the garbage. Loves lying.
So good. It's the only way I feel. You know, they put the word lie in alive. Think about it. Charles, 2025. I love you so much.
Bad. Terrible.
Dump this man.
What other question did I say? Oh, right, this one. This is Zoink Badoink.
Zoink badoink.
Now, this question is interesting. I can never figure out what to do after the first 4 or 5 dates. The way dating usually goes for me is that the first few dates we go and get drinks or take walks, or sometimes we'll go check out a festival or whatnot. And then around the 3rd date or so, start inviting her over, making dinner, having sex, etc. Planning and going through the proper dates takes an enormous amount of time and energy out of me. So after 4 or 5 of these, I always start feeling burnt out on ideas for dates. I feel like I just want to get into the routine of hanging out at our places after work with no pressure to keep conversations going, watching shows, etc. But I'm worried she'll think this is too lame. How long does it usually take before you settle into a routine life after dating? Is it typically things calm down after the first 4 or 5 dates? The funny thing is that I've been in a few long-term relationships before this, but I just can't remember when and how we transitioned to routine life. I think in my past relationship, I was with people who had things they wanted to do, and I just happily followed them around. And now I'm someone who isn't like that, and I'm lost.
It's interesting because, like, I don't believe in putting a timeline on things. So it's like the time when dates stop being always kind of like exciting date events and start becoming like more casual. It's such a nebulous thing that I genuinely couldn't even begin to take a stab at it. I will say I don't think it's 3 or 4 because I think
Sorry, continue.
I just think people move at a weird timeline on the internet where they're like 3 dates, we're married. And I'm like, oh God.
You don't even know they have kids yet. Do you remember, like, so for me, I also don't remember like what I do after that period of time where you're actually like going out and like planning a thing and do like that. I started thinking about it. I was just like, I don't know, man, especially because like there was a period of time where I was seeing a handful of people and each one of them, I'm like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know.
It did kind of freak my bean a little bit where I was like, I should be able to like put a rough idea on it.
I should be able to sort of like at least circle the general area, but like I don't. And I wonder if it's because I certainly date differently than I think the average person does, because at least when I was younger and single, I was dating, not really to find a relationship. Like you and I think we're both in the same sort of like mentality of being like, well, we'll date people and we'll hook up with people and we'll see people. And if anything catches, then great, we'll pull that thread.
Yeah, I was definitely open to a relationship most of the time. But not like, I don't think searching for one is ever healthy. You know what I mean? It's like you meet someone and they're good or they're not. And it's like, I think the only thing that matters is if you're not looking for a relationship. But like, yeah, a lot of the time, some people, it wasn't really dates. It was just like, we'd go fuck. Other times it was like dates. And yeah, I don't ever remember that transition period clearly. And I think that's a good thing because it is natural. And I think it's the kind of thing that you just like feel through in the moment. But I also never remember being stressed out by making dates.
The only time I can remember that is there was someone who, and this was 100% projecting on my part, right? There was someone who I had a crush on for a very long time, and I thought was wildly out of my league. I think I hit her up on like Instagram, and we got like flirty and chatty, and she was, I was just like, well, fuck it, I'll shoot my shot. And she was like, yeah, I'll go. Like, yeah, well, we can grab a date or like go on a date. And that, like, I panicked, and I thought that like because this was someone I had such a huge crush on, and someone who
you needed the perfect spot.
Yeah, and that like I needed to do so much more because of how I had elevated this person in my mind.
Bro, never put her on a pedestal.
Right?
That's hot and fresh out of Seduction.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
there's
it
a
is
great
funny
truth to that.
Like at the end of the sort of like, she was like, "Yeah, I really just wanted to bone." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like I didn't need to do any of this like extra work. It was fun and everything, but like, I think that's the only time I've ever been like stressed out about sort of like planning.
Yeah, and that's a different situation too. To just like, I got 4 dates in me and I'm toast. And I do think like. That's one of two things. That's either you need to figure something out about yourself, which is like, why is it you don't have this energy or this kind of like interest? Or you're dating the wrong person and you don't have things in common. They're not adding to your kind of like life. Because like if you're dating someone, where's their input of like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do this? Like you should be excited to do stuff together. It shouldn't be a task, right? Like I don't remember it ever. I don't ever remember being like, oh God, like I like this person. What the fuck do I do? Life's so boring. No, it was like we did flying trapeze and rock climbing dates and fucking comedy shows and bar nights and concerts and like walks in the park. We went to the zoo. We watched a fucking longboard race down a hill. Like it was so easy. Like it was great.
And there's nothing wrong with like you could do all those things, but you don't have to do anything.
No.
Like, a date can just be going to a bar that you like and introducing a person that you are vibing with to a place that you really like, right? That was always sort of like what I did, was just sort of like, I would always be like, okay, cool. Like first date, I'm asking you out. So I'm choosing the place. I'm going to do that. Unless they like were weird about having, well, not weird. Sorry, I don't want to put stink on it, but like they wanted to have a little bit more say in sort of like the location of the date for safety purposes and comfort reasons.
Or didn't want to drink or whatever.
Yeah. So it was always fun. I liked ping ponging back and forth. And one, that takes the stress off your shoulders, right? Like you shouldn't be, one person should never be responsible for all the decisions in a relationship.
And again, if you are, you're dating the wrong person.
Or you're putting the pressure that I was doing, right? You're putting way too much pressure on yourself to impress someone and not, because again, it's like if I had just said like date 2, been like, hey, you want to come over to my place? She would have been like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Or like date 2, what do you want to do?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like you should be going on dates should be a conversation. I think there's a time and a place to take the reins and like plan a date, especially if you have a really great idea or they've hinted at something and you've picked up on it and you want to sort of like be sweet.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be like, hey, I would love to see you this weekend. Anything you want to do, right? Or like, is there a bar that you love? Like I took you to X. Do you want like, is there do you have the equivalent? And
or like, have you guys talked about that you both like pool or that you both like comedy? Like that's the thing that I feel like is missing here is like, where are your conjoined interests or the interest they have that you're interested in learning more about or vice versa, right? Like these should be the things informing your dates.
Yeah.
And there's also nothing
something
wrong
new
with or try something new together. Like that's what's dating. That's why it's easy is because you're both exciting. You're both learning new things. Like it should be just you visit the things you've already talked about.
And I really want to, I think a lot of people struggle with this idea that like dates should be, as Nell said, it's like Nell went on these like big sort of event dates. And that's great and that's cool if the opportunity is there.
If you listen to the list, some of them weren't. As like we watched a longboard race down a hill, which meant we literally stood at a street corner and watched longboards go by.
Yeah.
Like that was it. We got a coffee. We watched that. That was the whole date. Like it was nothing. You know what I mean? So like there are things and some of them are big and some of them sound big but aren't. And some of them are mundane like comedy shows. Some of them are bars. Some of them where we went for a walk to a nearby big building. Like you can do everything. And I think you should. Like I don't think you should only do big events for sure. I also don't think maybe you should only do small events, but maybe there's a reason for that. But there's a gamut of things out there. And there's also like, hey, let's start a new show. Come over and like having a regular show to watch together where you can just crush 2 or 3 episodes and like it's low key, it's at home and then you fuck. That's gold.
Yeah. And if you are getting like sort of like burnt out or overwhelmed or whatever, like I don't think like if someone was just like, hey, I want to see you, but I'm also kind of like wiped. Do you want to grab a chill drink somewhere? Do you want to come over?
Yeah.
Do you like I'll order takeout or like you pick the movie, I'll pick the food. Like whatever that's nice. I always like those dates where someone's amazing. Just like, you know, like I would love to do like hang out and see you, but like I am also brain dead. So if we want to go just, you know, eat wings somewhere like, and chill.
Those are some of the best dates. And I think there's such a nice thing of like getting to that point when you're dating where you're like, oh great, like you not even that the weight is off, but just that like you're so comfortable and like this person has now become like almost like comfort to you and like there's something lovely about that. So I just think if you have this problem, you're very possibly dating the wrong person because you should have exciting things you want to do together and you should have shared interests and you should have someone who's also like willing to meet you in the middle and you should also be able to take it chill. So if you're not able to do those things, is it them? Are you putting unrealistic expectations on yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a third option.
I think you need to reflect and be like, am I assuming that I need to take the mantle and like produce these incredible dates simply because that's what I'm told that I need to do or because I feel like people won't find me attractive or see my quote unquote worth if I don't do these things. And I think that if you are dating people who aren't going to continue to see you because you're not taking them to fancy restaurants and planning these big extravagant dates, then I agree with Niall. I think you're dating the wrong person. If this is something that you don't want to do, or it seems like work, dating shouldn't be work.
Mm-hmm.
Dating should require effort, but not work.
Yes.
Right? Like I think
you shouldn't
there
phone
should
it
be,
in, but it shouldn't feel like you're toiling in the mines.
Yeah. And you shouldn't be like spiraling because you're closing in on date 4 and 5 and your date idea reservoir is empty and you're like, fuck, but I haven't started the transition protocol into the like hangout time, and like that shouldn't be the case. And also don't be afraid to ask your date, especially as a man, to be like, what would you like to do? It should be a give and take. It shouldn't be the responsibility shouldn't be entirely on you to. And if someone's weird about that, that's a huge red flag.
Person.
Yeah.
Exclusive with no label. Am I a cheater? And it's a lot of details we don't really care, but I will just give you this snippet. He told me he'd be mad if I ever did anything with another man. He has been very adamant that he does not want a label. He acts as though he is my boyfriend.
I mean, label or not label, relationships require parameters and boundaries. And if you don't have those, then there are none.
Yeah, like exclusive with no label. Exclusive is a label. So if you're exclusive, right? And the whole exclusive no boyfriend, that's fucking stupid, because boyfriend is just you're exclusive.
I mean, boyfriend is like a nebulous term as well, right? Like boyfriend could mean a bunch of different things. Like you could have a boyfriend and be non-exclusive.
Sure.
It's very like boyfriend doesn't.
However, I will say
like,
the common parlance of boyfriend does mean exclusive.
Sure. But it's boyfriend to me is the most useless label.
Yeah.
And also, labels aren't one word, right? So saying, I don't want you to sleep with other people is a label. You have, like, that's a label that you've put on this relationship. Labels do.
Well, he didn't even say that. He said, I'd get mad if you did, which is a threat, actually.
Yes. Right. Like labels aren't just like exclusive, non-monogamous. Like those are nice and neat and easy to understand. Yeah. But labels can be anything that you have put onto a relationship as a parameter.
Yeah.
So
labels, like, it could literally be, you're allowed make out with girls when we're out at a bar, but not if I'm not with you, and you can't do anything further.
That's a label.
Exactly.
It's a wordy one, but it's still a parameter set to the relationship. That is a rule, that is a boundary that you guys have set together, hopefully, that you've agreed upon together. So the fact that like you haven't put a label on it, but you want to be exclusive, but he wants to be your boyfriend, but hasn't, like, it's all this idea that labels, and I understand like that's a long history of labels has been a thing in dating for fucking ever.
And clothing.
And it's dumb. It's stupid. And people who think that like labels are, limited to sort of easy, bite-sized, clear, defined things, it's just not the truth.
Well, I will say, like,
set labels when you have a conversation, right?
Easy, clear, defined, commonly known labels, incredibly helpful. Everyone knows what exclusive
for sure
is.
Yes.
Although apparently not. So the thing here is, like, communicate. Again, I can't imagine this conversation where you're like, hey, are we exclusive or are we not? And you get like this, I'll put a label, I'll be mad. And you just go, well, I'm really confused and I'm going to go to Reddit, but I won't continue this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Why? Are you worried? Are you scared? In which case, why are you dating this piece of shit?
Yeah.
If you're not, why are you not standing up for yourself? Why are you not clarifying? Because do you want them to cheat on you or upset you, or do you want to cheat on them or upset them? No, you want to know where you're at. So why are you leaving this conversation without knowing where you're at? And if you're with someone who refuses to give you the clarity of that, why the fuck are you with them?
And don't ask for, like, this is why the question of like, what are we is useless. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's what do you want? Here's what I want. Yeah. What are you looking for?
And that's another thing is, like, you shouldn't also just rely on what they want. Like, that's so passive. Be like, I want this. Like, do you want to be exclusive? Do you want to see other people?
Yeah.
Tell them.
And that's it,
then
right?
See what they,
It's like, be like, oh, are we exclusive? And someone's like, well, I don't want to put labels on it. It's like, great. Are you sleeping with other people?
Can I sleep with other people?
That's not, if they want to think of labels as little neat whatevers, then the question of, are you sleeping with other people, isn't a label to them, right? That's a question and a parameter that should be defined.
Yeah.
If they say no, and I would like for you to also not be, then sure. You haven't put the exclusive label on it, but you know what you fucking are, right?
Sure.
Like, you know that you are.
But also,
you guys
have put the exclusive label on it.
You have, for sure. But if that scares people, or if people don't want to be that, like, definitive about stuff, you still have to set boundaries and parameters, and that's fine. And I think that's why we should shift away from this idea of being like, are we exclusive? What are we?
I don't think so, because I think in this circumstance, the only reason someone's not putting a label on it is for manipulation purposes. I bet you this person is doing this so that if you sleep with someone, you can be like, I told you I'd be mad. I told you blah, 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 blah. But if they sleep with someone, they can be like, well, we aren't boyfriend, girlfriend. We didn't put a label on it.
And that's what I mean. I agree with you. And that's why I think, like, moving away from this idea of having these labels that we then can hide behind or use to deflect. You can't deflect. If you say, hey, are you sleeping with other people? Like, is that allowed? And they say, like, they can't be like, I don't know. Because then you're like, okay, well, then that's not an answer. And
but that requires communication, which most people apparently do not have.
And
but
that's,
the thing
that's
is,
why
in your prior thing, you were saying, are you sleeping with other people? Which I bet they would say no. And then they would be like, well, I wasn't at the time. See, it's cunts.
Yeah.
So you got to you got to nail that. I think we're both coming at the same thing from different angles. Is like, communicate, but don't leave it vague.
Yes.
Get a firm
Make
answer.
sure you know what the rules are of your relationship. Yes. Whatever they are. They can be, as Niall said, it's like, they could be like, yes, you can make out with other women while we're hanging out as long as I'm in the room with you. That's fine. That's a parameter that you can have. I don't give a fuck if that's what you want to choose to do.
If you agree on it and it's not hurting other people, it doesn't matter if your parameter's fucking weird.
Yeah, who cares?
Once you both want to do it, have it clearly defined and aren't hurting each other people, whatever. Once you're not like being abused, right? But like,
yes,
not having it is just going to make you confused, upset, make them confused, upset, leave the room open for abuse, manipulation. So just don't do it. Because like, if you don't sleep with someone and you find out he's sleeping with someone, you're going to be upset. If you sleep with someone, I'll bet you he's going to be upset. Whereas if you clear the air, then you know how to move going forward. So just don't leave it for these half fucking measures. If you're confused, keep talking.
Yes, and if someone starts dodging your question and doesn't want to answer it, be like, I don't know where we stand right now. And if you are unable to give me an answer, then I'm going to assume that we don't have a boundary regarding this, right? If he's being all fucking wishy-washy and, well, blah, 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 while you're asking about your state of like exclusivity or what you're allowed to do within your relationship, if he's being all fucking blah about it and being very vague, then be like, great.
Doing a politician?
Yeah, then just say like, okay, you seem to not have a firm boundary or parameter regarding this, so I'm going to assume that we don't have one. And if he says, well, I don't want you sleeping with someone else, it's like, well, then are we going forward with that? Because I don't, like, if you feel jealous, that's fine. Jealousy is a normal human emotion.
Yeah, if you're just expressing you'll be sad and trying to manipulate me that way, but not refusing to set up a boundary, then I guess okay, I'm sorry you'll be sad, but maybe you should work on
I'm sorry you're
that.
going to feel sad. I cannot tell you if you'd like.
Yeah.
Like if that's the parameter you want to set, that like we're allowed to sleep with other people, we just won't talk about it. Great. Now you're not going to feel jealous about it.
Yeah. You being like preempting that you'll be upset, but refusing to set a boundary is you being a piece of shit. You're just being abusive and manipulative. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Because again, the only reason they're not setting a boundary is so they have free reign.
Yeah. And deniability. And
exactly.
It's like as Nell said, it's like we didn't do this. We didn't. It's like, well, if you talk it through and try to avoid the classic label talk and the classic, what are we talk, and just have a conversation about what's
boundaries,
allowed and
rules,
what you can do.
Yeah.
And like have a normal human conversation about that kind of stuff, you'll find that you'll see a lot more reality and a lot more truth in what people are looking for, instead of being like, what are we? Are we exclusive? Yeah. Where do we stand? Like,
and
those
also
questions.
Put forward your fucking position always.
Yes. Yeah. These conversations are for you. They're not for the other person, right? That's it. It works out that it is eventually in the long run. But when you're having these questions or these conversations, you're asking these questions and you're setting parameters and you're establishing boundaries. Those are for you. You have to trust that they're going to advocate for their own, mental health and safety and everything. You have to know. And so it's like, you have to understand that the person you're talking to and assume they're not advocating for you. So you have to do that. Relationships are two people advocating for their wants and their needs, meeting in the middle and finding a place that works for both of them.
And I bet you anything, if you stick to being like super communicative and straightforward, you're going to start to weed people out far earlier
100%.
than you would have. Because that one guy who's like, oh, I don't want to put a label on it. And you say like, oh, like, are we sleeping with other people? He's like, what, you want to sleep with other people? You fucking slut or some shit? Like, you're going to get that. Or he won't actually like nail down any proper communication because it's like anathema to what he's trying to do, which is manipulate you. So it's like if you can't get there and if he's getting upset at you saying reasonable things like, I don't know where we're at, so I'm going to continue with the baseline, which is that I'm single, for want of a better word. And then he gets upset, like he's trying to get one over on you. Whereas if he's just like, yeah, cool, you've got someone, you've communicated, he understands life. So you're going to start to weed people out far sooner. And it's going to be before they do that shitty thing to you. So
you're going to find that the dating pool may get smaller, but the quality is going to get, you're going to go from like the pissed in public pool to the, you know, saltwater jacuzzi. Smaller. It's going to do wonders for your skin.
It's going to do wonders for your skin.
And it's going to be great all year round. So it's fine. Like, don't be afraid to limit your pool if the quality of that pool gets significantly better.
Yeah.
Just by asking questions and advocating for yourself.
Like you might see, oh no, I might have less dates or less potential partners. Yeah, but you have less shitheads. Like way less shitheads. That's the thing. You're only missing out on the shitheads. So it's like, did you want shitheads? Because that's how you get shitheads. And
I highly recommend if someone ever starts talking about like, oh, I don't want to put labels on it, be like, great, I don't believe in labels. Let's set parameters.
Yeah.
And watch them fucking panic.
Exactly.
Watch them freak the fuck out when they're like, oh God, I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people might do that not in a bad way. Some people might just not have been approached with honesty and clarity and might need a second to digest. And that's fine, right? Like give people a bit of a learning curve of being taken aback by this idea and concept. If they don't meet you at the table, that's when you get concerned. But if someone's just like, hey, you asked me a lot of questions today and I need to take a second to think about them because they are good questions, and I don't want to say something I don't mean. That's totally fine.
Although, like, I think where you're at and what you want from a relationship, they're pretty easy questions, but you'll probably be able to tell, is someone engaging with you honestly and genuinely, or is someone like, oh shit, they took away my little bag of tricks. And I do understand if some people don't like the term boyfriend, for example, but like, regardless of the word, you still need to know where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as
that's what I say. It's like boyfriend, partner, like all those things kind of like don't mean anything if you like open the file and there's nothing else in there.
Yeah. Or every time you open it, it's just notes and everybody gets to fill in their own, like my version of boyfriend versus someone else's version of boyfriend, etc. So I understand what you were saying, I think, where it's like, just that isn't that helpful.
Boyfriend means fucking nothing.
It's it comes with assumptions and each person's assumption is different. So you still should be having that chat regardless. Anyway, communicate, guys.
We've talked about it.
We've done it.
That's going to do it for this week. And we really appreciate you coming in and saying hi.
And we fucking love you. Deal with it.
We do, in fact, love you.
Thank you, Josh Eagle. And also thank you to the Harvest Cities for their song, Paper Stars.
Yeah. Thank you.
You should go and support us in whichever way you can, be it rating us, be it subscribing to us on socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We're kind of getting a little bit of momentum on Patreon. Join there. Throw us $1 or $2 a month.
Throw a coin to your Witcher.
Throw a coin to your Witcher. That's us. For less than the cost of a coffee a month, you're going to get 4 hours of free content and one extra every month and a whole backlog of beautiful stuff.
I was going to say 4. I was like, there's more than 4 hours on our Patreon. There's
I make 4 new episodes
like
a week, which is happening or 4 new episodes a month, which is happening regardless. Then an extra one every month, and then just a backlog of secret hidden episodes no one's ever heard, but the special chosen few who support this podcast. It helps us keep going, helps us pay for hosting and like unexpected costs like new mics and whatever. We appreciate it.
So many cables.
So many cables. Everybody who does it, you're keeping the podcast going. And the more support that we get, the more we can like get on guests, spend a little bit more time on the podcast, do shows, etc. So helps us, helps you, and we appreciate it because we put a lot of work in. Speaking of work, you're going to have to work to regain your sanity after listening to this bad sex writing.
Perfect segue.
Get
Beautiful segue.
This is Peep Man by Deuce 42.
Hell yeah.
Behind me in the mirror above the dresser, I glimpse sexy Pam peeling off her crescent bra, revealing a sensuous chest as her tangy titties bounced into view. As she rubbed them on my hapless head, I gently squeezed her poppin' fresh breasts.
Nice.
I genuinely, I've made it this far in life without referring to breasts as poppin' fresh,
Or tangy.
titties, and I really feel like I have fucked up.
Look, I understand that this is bad in the sense that it is not very good, but I will say, I think I prefer this over 90% of the other things because there's a playfulness, right? There's a reverence to it, and
There's an irreverence to it.
Yeah, maybe. I would rather this be the prevalent thing as opposed to the terrible shit that we normally get.
It's like The Room of, like, it's undeniably bad, but it's also great.
Yeah.
Damn you, sexy Pam.
Damn you, sexy Pam. You know what? Sexy Pam I think we all have a sexy Pam in our life.
Yeah, it's me.
And I think we should just take a second to say, thanks, Pam.
Thanks, Pam.
My name's Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain.
We've been your sexy Pams.